My name is Sophia, and I'm a 32-year-old single mom. My life revolves around my daughter, Lily, who is 8 and the light of my world. I work hard as a marketing executive to provide for us, juggling long hours and the challenges of raising her on my own. But recently, our lives were turned upside down. The doctor's words still haunt me, Miss Thompson. I'm afraid Lily has a rare heart condition. She'll need surgery urgently. Every night since, I've lain awake, replaying those words, struggling to balance work, caring for Lily, and planning for her life-saving surgery. Just when I thought things couldn't get more overwhelming, my sister Olivia called for a family meeting. We gathered at my parents' house, Mom, Dad, Olivia, my younger brother Jake, and me. Olivia could barely contain her excitement as she flashed her engagement ring. "I have amazing news," she squealed. "We're having a destination wedding in Bali." As everyone gasped in delight, my stomach sank. I knew what was coming. It's happening next month, and I need everyone there, no excuses. I took a deep breath. "Liv, I'm happy for you, but Lily's surgery is next month. I can't leave her." The room fell silent. Then came the barrage. "Sophia, this is your sister's special day," Mom scolded. "Can't you reschedule the surgery?" Dad added. "Yeah, Soph. Don't be so selfish," Jake muttered, not even looking up. "Selfish? I was talking about my daughter's life." Olivia's face twisted into a pout. "You always do this, Sophia. You always try to steal my spotlight." Old memories flooded back, Olivia's recitals overshadowing my soccer games, her graduation celebrated with grandeur while mine barely registered. I fought back tears. "That's not fair, Liv. You know that's not true." "Well, if you really cared about this family, you'd find a way to be there," she snapped. I looked around, hoping for support, but all I saw were disappointed faces. No one met my gaze. My voice trembled as I stood. "I'm sorry, but I can't abandon Lily when she needs me most." Isolation settled over me as I left the house. How could they ask me to choose between my family and my child's life? The unfairness of it all made my head spin. That night, as I tucked Lily into bed, her small hand reached for mine. "Mommy, are you okay? You look sad." I forced a smile. "I'm fine, sweetheart. Just thinking about grown-up stuff." Her eyes widened. "Is it about my heart?" "Don't worry about that, honey," I said, kissing her forehead. "Mommy's going to take care of everything." As I closed her door, I leaned against the wall, torn between my love for my daughter and the crushing expectations of my family. The following weeks blurred into long nights of work and every extra shift I could take. Every penny mattered. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep, I called my parents, hoping they'd understand. "Hey, Mom, can we talk about Lily's surgery?" "Now's not a good time," Mom replied, her tone clipped. "We're busy with wedding preparations." I swallowed my frustration. "I understand, but this is important. Remember the joint account we set up for emergencies? I was thinking of using it for Lily's medical expenses." There was a long pause. "Well, about that." My stomach dropped. I logged into the banking app and stared at the screen. The account was empty. "What happened to the money?" I asked, my voice shaking. Dad came on the line. "Sophia, don't overreact. We had some unexpected expenses for Olivia's wedding." "You used our emergency fund for a wedding?" I could barely believe what I was hearing. "It's not just any wedding," Mom interjected. "It's your sister's special day. You're being selfish again." "Selfish?" My daughter needed life-saving surgery. I hung up, the sting of their betrayal fresh in my mind. Later that week, I ran into Jake at the grocery store. "Hey, Soph, how are you holding up?" For a moment, I saw the brother I used to know. It's tough, Jake. I could really use some support. He shifted uncomfortably. Look, I get it, but maybe you should just suck it up and come to the wedding. It would make things easier for everyone. Easier for everyone except Lily and me. You mean? I said bitterly. Jake's face hardened. Don't put this on me, Sophia. You're the one causing all this drama. He walked away, and I felt the last thread of hope snap. The day before they left for Bali, I stopped by my parents' house to drop off some misplaced mail. As I approached the door, I overheard Olivia's voice. I just don't understand why she's being so difficult. It's like she's trying to ruin my wedding on purpose. Now, Mom soothed. We know how Sophia can be, always needing to be the center of attention. Exactly, Olivia chimed in. I bet Lily isn't even that sick. Sophia's probably exaggerating to get sympathy. I stood frozen outside, unable to move as they dismissed my daughter's life like it was nothing more than an inconvenience. The next morning, I watched from my window as they loaded their cars, laughing and excited for their trip. Not one of them looked back at our house. Not one came to say goodbye. Sinking to the floor, I sobbed. How could they abandon us when we needed them most? Mommy? Lily's small voice broke through my despair. Why are you crying? I quickly wiped my tears and forced a smile. It's nothing, sweetie. Mommy's just a little tired. I hugged her close, making a silent vow we would get through this, just the two of us. No one would hurt my little girl the way they had hurt us. That night, as sleep eluded me, an idea popped into my head. I'd seen stories of people raising money online for medical expenses. Maybe, just maybe. The next day, I set up a crowdfunding page. My hands trembled as I typed out our story, laying bare the raw truth of our situation. I hit post and held my breath. At first, nothing happened. Then, ping, a donation. Then another, and another. My phone buzzed nonstop. It was Sarah, a co-worker. Sophia, I just saw your post. I had no idea what you were going through. We're all chipping in at the office, she said. I was overwhelmed. People I barely knew were reaching out with help and kind words. The next day at work, my boss, Rachel, called me into her office. My heart sank. Was this about all the overtime I'd been putting in? Sophia, why didn't you tell me how bad things were? Rachel's eyes brimmed with concern. I didn't want to bring my personal problems to work. I mumbled. Nonsense. We're family here, she said, handing me an envelope. It's an advance on your salary, and I'm giving you flexible hours. Your priority right now is Lily. Tears welled up. Thank you, Rachel. I don't know what to say. As I left her office, I overheard two colleagues whispering, "Can you believe what Sophia's family did? Choosing a wedding over her daughter's surgery? Disgusting." A part of me felt vindicated, but mostly, I just felt sad. Word of our situation spread quickly, and soon the local news reached out. Before I knew it, I was sitting in front of a camera, recounting the whole ordeal. "And your family?" the reporter asked, her eyes wide with disbelief. I swallowed hard. They're not helping. They made their choice. The story aired that night, and my phone exploded with messages of support. Donations poured in faster than ever. At Lily's next hospital visit, we met Elena, a child life specialist whose warmth instantly put Lily at ease. "Sophia," Elena said one day as we watched Lily play, "you're doing an amazing job. Not everyone could handle this with such grace." I laughed bitterly. Grace? I feel like I'm barely holding it together. Elena squeezed my hand. That's the thing about strength. It's not about never falling apart. It's about picking yourself up every time you do. I threw myself into final preparations for the surgery. Work, hospital visits, Last-minute fundraising, I was running on pure adrenaline. Finally, the day arrived. As they wheeled Lily into surgery, I held her hand. "I love you, Mommy," she whispered. "I love you too, baby, so much." The wait was agonizing. Every minute felt like an eternity, but when the doctor finally emerged, smiling, I knew. The surgery was a success. Lily's going to be just fine. Relief washed over me in waves. I sobbed, laughed, and thanked every force I could think of. Later, as I sat by Lily's bedside, watching her sleep peacefully, my phone buzzed. It was Jake. "Hey, Soph. How did the surgery go? We just got back from Bali and heard about everything." "I'm so sorry." I turned off my phone without replying. They had made their choice, and now I was making mine. As I looked at my brave little girl, I felt a whirlwind of emotions: relief, exhaustion, anger at my family, but mostly, I felt hope. We had made it through the worst, and we had done it without them. The following weeks were filled with hospital visits, recovery milestones, and the realization that Lily and I were stronger than I'd ever imagined. Each day, I watched my little fighter grow. We played games, read stories, and talked. It felt like we were rediscovering each other. One evening, I asked, "Lily, how would you feel about moving to a new house?" Her eyes lit up. "Can I have a purple room?" I laughed. "Absolutely." On moving day, as we stood in front of our new home, my phone buzzed again. It was Rachel. "Sophia, you won't believe it, we just landed that big account we were hoping for." I grinned. "That's fantastic. We should celebrate." "Absolutely. Bring Lily. Elena is coming too." Hanging up, a wave of gratitude washed over me. We'd been through hell, but we had come out stronger. A new home, new friends, and a new life awaited us. Now I have a question for you. If you were in Sophia's position, would you ever forgive your family for choosing a wedding over your child's life-saving surgery? Or do you believe some betrayals are unforgivable, no matter who commits them? Share your thoughts below.